everybody. This is Nick.
And Matthew from Plastic Tombstone.
And we're finally back with another episode of I Heard Something About That.
Where Nick and I are going to reminisce on the past month that we haven't done anything.
Why haven't we done? We've just been busy, right?
Just been really busy. Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of stuff at the house. You've been doing a lot of stuff with work. And
holidays coming up. That's always fun.
Yeah, that always makes everything the worst. But we can talk about the games we've been playing and the movies we've seen. And
yeah,
later we're going to do a digging deeper on Thor Ragnarok and Stranger Things Season 2. So tune in for that if you are interested in a spoiler-filled conversation.
Yes.
Basically, let's do spoiler-free stuff. What do you think about Thor Ragnarok?
I liked it. I really liked it, actually. I thought it was fun, stupid, goofy.
Yeah, it was very Guardians-like.
Very, very, yeah. But it's definitely way better than the first two.
Oh, yeah. The first two were very... I thought the second one was better than the first one, but
it still wasn't good.
Yeah. They're definitely the weaker of the...
They tried to ground Thor too much, I think. This one just went balls to the wall stupidity and ridiculousness.
It fit.
Yeah.
It fit the character perfectly.
And it was fun.
Yeah. That's how I would describe it. If anybody says, how is Thor? Fun. Just watch it from the beginning. It's fun.
Yeah. And what doesn't look fun?
What?
Justice League.
What is it about that? I mean, we're not going to go this weekend because that's when it comes out.
Yeah.
But we're probably going to go Tuesday when it's like...
I'm gonna go with you guys if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm tagging along.
Yeah, Tuesday we're gonna probably go Tuesday night. I'm thinking
because I will have to go.
Because I know we got to see it, right?
Yeah, we got to see it. I mean, I wasn't excited at all about Wonder Woman, but I wound up really enjoying it. So maybe this will be the same. I've heard good things about it so far from
the early
reviews.
Twitter response is interesting. It's got its flaws, but it's fun.
Yeah, so it's like,
So it's probably got the same story pacing issues that BVS had.
Yeah.
But maybe it's more fun to watch, hopefully.
I think the reason maybe I'm not so excited about it is because, once again, I think we've pointed this out before, that it feels really just rushed.
It's the shortest DC movie. You know it's a half hour shorter than Wonder Woman?
What?
Yeah, it's only 2 hours and something minutes long.
So
it's going to be even more rushed.
Literally, it's going to be like, hey, I'm Aquaman. I play in water. And that's your introduction to him.
That's pretty much it. And then he's going to be fighting.
I'm Flash. I run fast. The end.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be like the beginning of Suicide Squad where they're just going to see a picture. And it's like, I'm the Flash. I run. And I think they're banking on everybody knowing who these characters are.
I know. I think that's my problem with why I'm not excited, because I know, most of these characters haven't had a proper introduction in the DC cinematic universe. Yeah. Wonder Woman, I'm obviously excited to see because I enjoyed her movie. I enjoyed Ben Affleck's Batman and Batman vs. Superman, but I didn't enjoy the movie itself. But I did enjoy his portrayal of Batman. But the other characters, it's like, I know I'm going to have to go through like who they are and get introduced to them. That's going to be half the damn movie right there.
Yeah. So hopefully half the movie is like getting the band together and the rest just give us some comic booky action, because that would be cool.
Yeah, make it super fun and
yeah, as long as it's a fun watch.
Do you think?
I know we bash on DC a lot, or it feels like we do, but we just want a good movie at the end of the day.
Yeah. Do you think they should have stayed like dark, like, and not tried to be like Avengers with the humor, or do you think it could have been done right? Obviously, Batman vs. Superman was a little just dumb.
I gotta say this. I will say this before. It's not really spoilery, but I was initially a little bit when was watching Thor Ragnarok. I was like, not everything has to be a joke.
Yeah,
I'm getting a little fried on it, and luckily the whole thing wasn't like that. Was more it was more jokes in the beginning than there were throughout the rest of the movie. Right. The rest of them were kind of like gags, but the beginning felt like it was trying to like really be heavy-handed with the humor. Yeah. And then it got a little serious, and then it got like then it found its footing like somewhere along the middle. So it was too depressing. I think Batman vs. Superman was. It was just like it was almost too dark, but I don't think jokes necessarily make it less dark. Just make it less heavy. Yeah. You don't have to add humor in to make it not so dark.
Do you think that maybe DC's trying too much to push the humor into something that should be a little darker? Do you think darkness should be like kind of their staple? Like, instead of trying to mimic Marvel, maybe they should make their movies
you can't what I liked about Civil War is not every character was a quip machine. There was a couple of them in there, obviously, but you got like Vision and Captain America and even Black Panther. None of them were. Right. So it balanced it out. But I think if you made everybody in Justice League a dour character, it'd be kind of like, it'd be kind of like if you made every character a comedian. sort of like.
Well, you don't have to make. I don't think they all have to be dark. I just mean the movie itself has like a little more adult, darker themes, and not so comic booky.
The issue with that is you want to sell more tickets, and in order to do that, you got to bring it down to PG-13. I mean, they could still do an R-rated movie, but they're going to push for PG-13.
Right.
So
we'll see. I mean, I'm with you. I want it to be good.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for a bad movie.
But
if
it sucks, we'll be here to talk about how bad it sucked. But if it's good, we'll be back talking about how we enjoyed it.
That's one thing about it. We're honest. I will say I was a little, in all honesty, I was a little disappointed in Thor Ragnarok, and I don't know why yet. I think because I was expecting something different. But now, after I've slept on it a couple days, I did enjoy it. I by no means disliked the movie. It just wasn't what I thought it was, so I kind of was taken aback when I was watching it. But it was kind of like when you and me went and see Hellboy for the first time.
Yeah.
The first Hellboy is great. But the first time you and me saw it was like, what? That wasn't that good.
We were just a little underwhelmed for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason, because I think our expectations were somewhere where I don't know why.
I don't know.
But then we watched it again. I was like, that movie was pretty good. Same with Watchmen.
Yeah.
Your just expectations are in a different place. When you go back and rewatch it, it's totally different.
Speaking of movie news, did you hear that Disney is possibly going to buy out Fox, or most of Fox?
Well, that would be a good move. That's X-Men, right?
That's X-Men and Fantastic Four.
That's a smart move if they did that.
God, I hope that happens. That's the one thing, like, me and Andrew were talking about this. I'm not really getting superhero fatigue yet, because I do still enjoy all the movies, but it sucks watching these stories.
The good ones and then the bad ones?
Well, it sucks watching these stories interlap with all my favorite characters, but then my favorite team, the X-Men, can't be part of that.
Yeah.
Like, they are my absolute favorite, and I want to see them in the cinematic universe and done right.
They would probably recast everybody, too.
I hope so.
Yeah. And please, if you do that, Disney, don't make Wolverine a comedian.
No, make him dark,
yes,
and brooding and ugly.
Follow Logan's footsteps and just keep him that way,
yeah,
the way he was, and make somebody else like Johnny Human Torch. Make him a comedian because that's what he was. I don't mind people being jokey or comic relief who were originally.
Yeah.
That's what set me off a little bit about Thor was like everybody at first it seemed like everybody was trying to be a comedian, and I think Chris Hemsworth has got good comedic timing, but I think it felt a lot like Guardians, but I think it was supposed to.
Do you think that like part of that is like, I noticed that in Guardians 2, it seemed like I enjoyed Guardians 2 much more than I did Guardians 1, which is not a popular opinion.
I thought 2 was better than 1.
Yeah, most people don't think so, but do you think that like some of the actors have like now they've gotten like used to the roles, like they're throwing their own little quips in there, and the director's not really reeling it in?
Probably.
It didn't seem like Batista this time around. It seemed like some of his stuff may have been ad-libbed.
Yeah.
And then like maybe the same thing with Chris Hemsworth, like, but the director's just like, whatever.
I think it was a smart idea. Now, like I said, it originally set me off a little bit, but I think it's a smart idea just because you want to put the cosmic weirdness in the same universe. So you want it to feel like Guardians.
Yeah.
And Guardians set a good tone. So why not follow that in suit and just make that space stuff kind of... It's
goofy.
Weird. Just make it goofy because it's goofy. Keep the grounded stuff for Captain America whenever he's, fighting spies and all that stuff. Because there you go. And keep it like Black Panther is looking like it's got a whole different vibe to it itself,
Mm-hmm.
So keep them separate and then mash them together and it works. So keep all the space because let's not forget Thor is basically in space.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, but anyway, we keep going back to Thor. I think it's because it's just fresh.
Yeah. Fox, did you notice they're putting out a new New Mutants movie?
New Mutants?
Yeah, it was a comic book when originally it was what X-Force was before X-Force became X-Force. But this one's like a horror movie with mutants.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember you telling me something about that.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
I heard something about that.
I don't know.
I saw the trailer for Runaways.
How's that look?
Looks okay. I like the concept of it.
That was a good story. Like, the comic was really good. I hope they stick with the original comic story.
It's, I think it starts next week, so I'll watch it and
It's on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
We got Hulu, so I'll probably watch it too.
There you go. Hulu. Yeah, but it looks pretty good. I'm going in it with little knowledge, so I'm probably going to enjoy it that way.
Yeah, the story. If it follows the original comic story, the first initial storyline was really good.
That's probably what it's going to end up.
I hope so. It was really awesome.
They're making also in more movie news. Speaking of superhero stuff, Sony is making a Morbius movie. Remember Morbius, the vampire who fought Spider-Man?
What is with Sony and trying to make all these characters who are in the Spider-Man universe, but they're trying to make them like their own thing?
I don't know.
They need to
I read
stop.
that and I'm like, that's weird. That's weird. Like, is anybody... I forgot Morbius existed until like right now when I'm telling you about Morbius.
Like, save these characters for the Spider-Man movies. What are you doing, Sony? Stop. Nope.
Yeah, everybody wants to get ahead. And
it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to care because they know it's not going to wind up being part of anything.
Yeah.
Same thing with your stupid Venom movie.
Oh my God, Venom. I'm interested to see how all these turn out, but I'm with you where I think it's hard to invest in something. What do you think? Know it's not going to connect.
If, let's say, Disney does buy Fox, what do you think happens to Deadpool?
I don't know. That's a tough sell. I think they might keep it the way it is. Here's hoping because...
Do you think? Does Disney do anything R-rated at all?
I remember Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, was their first PG-13 movie. I remember that because that was like, this is the first movie we've ever had this PG-13. So I don't know.
I mean,
I think it's a bad decision if they took that away because I think you need to use what's working.
It's one of those things like if they kept it rated R and then like they incorporated Deadpool into the cinematic universe, like maybe like one of the big Avengers movies or something, I think it could play well to be funny that they kind of censor him through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because he's self-aware, so breaking the fourth wall, that would be pretty funny.
I don't know if Deadpool would fit in anything other than his movie because those movies don't really do that.
Have you seen him in like the Spider-Man cartoons, like the kids Spider-Man? Like they've put him in kids Spider-Man cartoons.
Yeah, and he just talks to the camera and
it makes sense. Like they make him like say like he's going to unalive people and stuff because he says he can't say the K word. And I'm like, that makes sense. So it might be kind of funny if like during the Avengers movie he's like doing it. Maybe he's censoring himself and they're just like, what the fuck is he doing?
I mean, it could work. I don't know. I definitely
with the right writer, it could work.
With the right writer, it could work. I'm thinking having the Fantastic Four is going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
It's going to open a lot of doors for them because there's a lot of things, specifically the Fantastic Four do that affect a lot of the Marvel Universe.
And Fantastic Four deserve
a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, Silver Surfer was okay. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I haven't went back and watched it. It may not hold up.
I mean, it's just, it felt too corny to me still.
Yeah.
Like,
well, superhero movies hadn't really found their footing at that point either.
That was Iron Man that did that though. That really set the bar for it.
What do you think happens after Infinity War? Do you think you can go any bigger than that? Do you think like
they're saying that's the end of the arc, and the sequel to Spider-Man is the start of the new arc. The sequel to Spider-Man is going to be the new Iron Man. That's where everything picks up.
Do you think people are going to be kind of tired of superheroes after the big, like, it's almost like the climax, and like, you think people are just going to be like, okay, well, we've seen the biggest thing that you can throw at us?
I don't know, because I feel like it depends on how you watch them. Like, I feel like if you wait, it's sort of like when you watch Stranger Things, for example. Stranger Things is designed to be watched as one big, long movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what a lot of these movies are doing now. Is they're being designed, like in Infinity War is obviously going to connect to the second Avengers movie, the fifth one, or where the hell it is. Whatever the last one is, it's obviously going to connect to that.
Yeah.
So watching that, like watching Civil War and then that, or in any particular order, you know what I mean? It's going to feel like that binge-worthy thing. So I don't know. It's definitely going to go big, but it's more like the series finale, and then they'll just start over again. And then just build a new series. They did it before. It took them 22 movies to get to there. Maybe it'll take them 10 or 12 movies to get that high again. But if you're saying they're buying Fox,
I just wonder what it's going to take, to keep the steam rolling. Like, are we ever going to get to the point where it's just like, all right, we're sick of this. Like, we don't care anymore.
Yeah, I guess this has been building since the first Avengers.
It really has.
But people said the same thing after the first Avengers came out. It's like, oh, that happened. That was cool. Now what? Well, everybody just wanted more,
I know, that's what I'm saying, but where do we go from there? Like, once we finally put a ton of movie franchises into one movie, like, how do you up the ante? Maybe they'll figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought when I first saw Iron Man it would ever be this big. Like, I never thought it would get that huge.
No, I was like, that was pretty good. I hated. I don't hate Iron Man, but I didn't care for Iron Man.
Yeah.
Went into the theater and was like, oh, wow, that was a good Iron Man movie.
But when he said, let's let the Avengers assemble, or whatever he said at the beginning, I can't remember what his line was that made everybody freak out. But, like, I couldn't have imagined when he said that. I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. But it felt like so far away.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and then there was, like, what, eight main characters? Now this one has, like, 47 main or something like that. It's a ridiculous amount of characters. Like, everybody who's ever been in a Marvel movie ever is going to be in it.
Yeah.
All the Guardians, there's 6 of them. There's more Guardians now than there were original Avengers. And it's just like you're throwing them on top of the Avengers that are there, on top of Black Panther, on top of obviously Winter Soldier's probably going to show up. And
yeah.
Who else is going to be there?
I don't know. I can't wait for it though. When is that trailer going to drop, man?
Who knows?
I know that leaked one I've seen the really crappy version of it.
I'm predicting maybe Star Wars.
Maybe.
About that time they'll drop it alongside of it.
Well, come on, I'm ready for it. I want to see it.
It's only a couple weeks away, so you're getting close.
Good.
Other than that, we got some. We've been basically playing a lot of video games. Not a lot of video games. We've been playing some video games on our time off.
Yeah.
We took a little PT podcast / everything break to do other things.
In between what little free time we have, we'd have been playing some video games.
That's true. We played Fortnite a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
That is a fun game. Fortnite.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. I don't have actual Fortnite, but
the actual Fortnite's pretty fun, but it's more Minecrafty and like defense tower. But you're playing, which everybody can get for free. It's called Fortnite Battle Royale, and it basically is Battlegrounds. Which, if you don't know what Battlegrounds is, you obviously don't watch Twitch because that's like the most popular thing on Twitch right now.
Well, no, I've seen so many videos.
Battlegrounds, yeah.
Blah blah blah. It's a rip off of Battlegrounds. Like, who cares?
Yeah, Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox One though.
It's free. Shut up.
Exactly, it's free. But basically, it drops you in a battle royale with 100 other people, and you got one life, and you got to survive as long as you can.
And you can like mine things and build things.
Yep, you can build turrets and guns, and
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's very tense because again, you have one life, and basically
the world is shrinking around you.
The world's shrinking, slowly closing in around you, and it essentially pushes everybody together. And you said you got to 12, right?
I got to 12. That's as far as I've gotten.
Man, that's...
How far did you get?
40-something. I haven't really got a chance to play that a lot, but when I do...
You want to talk about what made us play this?
Oh, yeah. So the reason we played this is because Matt said, let's make a Halloween video. So we said, cool. Matt said, I got Friday the 13th, the game.
Which we played the beta. We enjoyed the beta pretty well.
The beta was fun. It was glitchy, but it was fun. So we decided, let's do a couple rounds. We'll splice them together and splice together the best bits.
So we played for about 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours?
We played for 3 hours. How many matches did we play? 5?
About 5 or 6.
So...
And most of it was us spectating.
Yeah, we died immediately. Then we spent most of the time just watching other people play.
The 2 times I got to pick to finally be Jason. As many times I've played this game, every time I get to be Jason, something always happens.
So the first time he got to be Jason, he literally saw the text that said what he could do, and then the game crashed.
No, I fell through the floor.
That was the second time.
No, the first time.
That first time you fell through the floor.
I turned around, walked backwards, and fell through the floor.
It was like Jason has died.
Yeah, and then the second time I was swimming, and then it just went black.
Yep.
And I died.
So in 3 hours, he plays Jason for a grand total of 20 seconds.
And during the beta, when I finally I got to be Jason once, I got stuck in an animation.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
It was super depressing because it was just like such a time suck.
Yeah. Like I said, we mainly sat there and watched other people play.
And I think what that game should do is if you die, you should be able to go to another party. You should not have to sit there and watch the game because it can go on for 20 minutes.
Yeah, because you showed me Fortnite.
I was like, check this out.
And we played like 3 or 4 rounds within like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It loads you in, and if you die at number 99, if you just happen to be the first person murdered, you can just say, go back to the lobby. Because so many people are playing that they just throw you in a group with another 100. And then there you go. The group loads up, the bus takes off, you jump out, and then you're back in the game. I think we played more rounds of that in the span of 20 minutes than, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, Friday the 13th was just a lot of waiting and a lot of watching, not a lot of playing.
Yeah, it was fun when you got to play a little bit, and it was super glitchy and funny at times, but it was also just, I don't know if it was worth the wait.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but it needs a lot of polishing.
Yeah. Yeah, just let everybody opt out, maybe. Or give them lives or something to where you're not just spectating the whole time. Because I don't think a lot of people would have played Halo as if you died, then you had to watch the whole match until it was your turn again. That's not, you play video games to play video games. I get that spectating is a huge thing now, but let people who tune into Twitch spectate and let us do something.
Speaking of playing video games, you've been playing a game about a hat.
A game about a hat. So I've been playing a little bit of... I've been playing 3 games lately. Assassin's Creed Origins, Mario Odyssey, and South Park The Fractured Butthole. Those are the 3 games I've been playing recently.
What a brilliant name.
Almost finished Fractured Butthole. If you like the first one, Stick of Truth. I
haven't played it, but I need to get Fractured Butthole because you get Stick of Truth for free with it, don't you?
Yep. So. And, yeah. They changed the combat is turn-based, which is not my favorite, and the first one is you stand still. But in the second one, it's sort of a grid base, so you get to move and then attack.
Oh, okay.
Dungeons and Dragons style, which it works because it works for knockbacks and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Much more
I
strategic.
probably wouldn't love too much about it, but I would play it just to see the story.
Yeah, and if you're a South Park fan, I mean, it's just South Park all over the place. Just characters here, characters there. One of the collectibles is those Yowies of Tweak and Craig. They're all over South Park. There's like 70 of them. And I don't know, it's just super funny, and it's well worth it if you're a South Park fan. And it doesn't take that long to beat, really. And Assassin's Creed Origins is good. It's a good step forward for the Assassin's Creed, which was coming out each year, and then they took a little break, and they added this one, which is like basically an origin story of how the Brotherhood came about. And it feels a lot different. It feels much more. It feels fresher for some reason. It doesn't feel like the same rehash thing over and over again. It feels like there's unique quests and unique ideas, and it looks awesome. But the other game I've been playing is Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey. I'll let you play a little bit of that. It's a good platformer. It's the thing I noticed about Mario games and some Nintendo, maybe it's some Nintendo games period, is Nintendo just says, this thing's happening, accept it, and everybody just accepts it. The story is absurd and weird. Like, the Princess Peach is being forced to be married to King Koopa, who's collecting things for their wedding, which is also a sentient tiara, which he gives to her. And the tiara's sentient brother hat decides to join you, and you can possess things. Yeah,
I did notice that there's just a few minutes I got to play it, there's a lot of hats.
There's a lot of hats.
There's a lot of things about hats in that game.
Well,
you said you have a theory. You said you have a theory on this, right?
I have a theory that's my theory, is that Nintendo just goes, oh, you're a hat that possesses things. And everybody goes, cool. This is great. But I think it's a platformer, and that's basically...
Yeah, but why is there so much hat stuff in that game? It's like all about hats.
Nintendo,
it's the Mario game about hats.
Yeah.
What?
But they just grasp something. They take something, and then this is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like they beat you over the head with it. In Mario Kart Double Dash, it was all about 2 people being on the cart at the same time. Mario Kart Double Dash. And then there was Mario Kart 8, which was all about driving upside down because you were attached to this. It's like they get one little mechanic, and then and it's a good mechanic. It definitely adds variety to the game. Like, I was a T-Rex, and then I was a Goomba, and when you're a Goomba, he doesn't slip on the ice. And when you're a fish, you can obviously swim faster. You know, all kinds of different aspects. It's a good mechanic, but it's just weird that they're just like, here you go.
Mario's hat's alive now.
Mario hat's alive, possesses things. Cool. And Mario just goes, all right, cool, let's go, hat. Doesn't even question it. Doesn't even ask him anything. He just said, all right, I'm going on this adventure with you.
Well, as much shit as Mario has seen, he probably doesn't care at this point.
Well, did I ever tell you the worst Zelda game I ever played? Not the CDI games. I actually stopped playing a Zelda game. It was called Triforce Heroes because it was this weird sort of arcadey version where you were supposed to play with friends, but you could play by yourself, and you were 3 different Links. And then...
I remember that.
But the whole story was... It wasn't even Zelda. It was some lady who got her fashion stolen, and you had to go get her dress back and find her sense of fashion. And I'm like, what is going on in this game? Like, she was the prettiest princess in the land, and then you find her and she's wearing, like, somebody took her dress and her beauty away, and she's wearing just a unitard, and she was really depressed, and the only way she could be happy again if she had her fashion back. I'm like, I don't want to play the Zelda fashion game. I'm over it. Bring me Breath of the Wild, which is coming out soon, the DLC.
Sweet.
So,
give me back into playing that game.
Yep.
I've been playing WWE 2K18.
Is it like WWE 2K17?
Yeah, and 2K16
and 2K15.
15, yeah, pretty much.
They need to stop releasing those games every year.
They really do. It's like they give you just a little bit more every year, and it's like it's still a pretty broken ass game.
You know what they should do? They should do the Destiny model, which is release a game and then just service it for 3 years, work on the sequel, and then release a sequel. And then service that for a couple years.
Because back in the day, we used to get like 2 wrestling games per system.
Yeah.
So why not give us one really good one and then just keep working on it?
Exactly. Just keep polishing it, keep tweaking it, and making it better for the people who actually play those games.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, oh, we're going to up-res the graphics a little bit. We're going to throw in a new character who might have been introduced this year.
Yeah. Look, we made the lighting better. Okay, cool.
Can you make them fighting better?
Can you make it
a fighting game?
Can you make it not load for like 30 minutes? Can you make the game stop glitching out all the goddamn time and crashing? No, you can't? Okay, cool. Yeah, they really... And the weird thing is like... It's almost like they work on it for like a year and they don't get it done. Because like they didn't start advertising it till like a month before it came out. Like you didn't see anything about it till about a month before it came out. And I'm like... Yeah, they're probably just getting down to the nitty gritty and it's like, fuck, we got to put out whatever we can put out.
Wasn't it that commercial where it's like, oh, sorry, I was playing WWE 2K18 on my Nintendo Switch.
I don't know. No, he was playing something on the Switch. It was fucking Seth Rollins who was backstage. He's just like, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I'm just playing my Switch because I can take it anywhere.
Ugh.
It's like, oh, God.
But speaking of awesome fighting game news, you and me were like, we need to play Injustice 2. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
and
one
then
of those
we just
games,
never did.
One of those games I keep being like, I need to get that, and then I just don't.
But now we have to. Because
we have
why? They announced a new character pack. And who's in this character pack? We have...
Your boys.
The Atom. What was it? Enchantress?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to anybody else but...
Yeah, so the Turtles showed up.
The Ninja Turtles.
So that's kind of amazing because Hellboy's in it too, which is pretty cool. But you sent me that video. I'm like, all right, Matt would only send me this video is if Ash was in it because I thought that's who it was going to be. I thought Ash was going to show up because
that'd be awesome.
Well, I thought they had done it before with all the other horror icons. So I was assuming it's like Matt only sent this to me because Ash is in it. I was like, Ash is in it. I was just watching the video going, where is he? He's going to pop up here any second. He's going to like chain through the wall. Nope. And the side drops and I thought it was just Raphael in his trench coat, which would have been cool enough. But nope, all 4 turtles come out and they say we got to do this together, which tells us that it's kind of a
one person.
One person, but you're 4 people. You swap in, swap out kind of thing.
Yeah, or they're like part of the special moves. Like there's Leonardo and like you do a move and like Donatello jumps out and does something. I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't think it's 4 separate characters, which it should be. That'd be awesome, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That's a lot of different mechanics to add in there. But that's such a cool... It's definitely on my list of most surprising things I've seen happen all year.
They haven't been in a fighting game since Turtles Tournament Fighters.
Turtles Tournament Fighter. That was a good one. I like that game.
It was hard as fuck.
It was. What, you had Wingnut in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that weird shark guy.
It's a game. And you know what's crazy about that game? It was on 3 different systems, and all 3 games were completely different.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, they all different fighters and different color palettes and all that stuff. It was strange. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
I wish Ash was in that game.
Sorry, I ruined that for you.
Thanks.
I thought for sure that's what I was going to see. I was like, oh my God, he must be geeking out because that would be you would have gone out and bought it that day.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, I'm getting this. Bye.
But yeah.
Turtles are awesome though because they have been in a few Batman comics here recently.
Yeah, that Batman comic one was really good.
I didn't read it. I need to read it.
I liked it. I got it over here. I'll let you borrow it. That's pretty good. It's a short read. It's only about 10 issues.
Cool.
But it's a pretty cool twist in there. Like old... I like how they mash the Batman universe with the Turtles universe
that makes
in
sense.
Interesting ways.
They're very similar as far as like settings.
Yeah. And then they made a new one which was like the Batman animated version and the Turtles animated version.
Speaking of Turtles animated, I think maybe it was this week or last week maybe it was last week. The final episode of the new Ninja Turtles aired.
Oh, it's over.
It's done.
Oh, the Nickelodeon one.
They're making a new series, and apparently Raphael's gonna be the leader in it.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it animated? Is it CG? What's it?
It's a 2D animated show, but I don't know much else about it other than I just knew I was shocked when I found out that they were ending the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah, that's strange. Why would they? I thought that was pretty successful.
I did too, and it's really good. It sucks they're ending it because it's such a good cartoon. Well,
they did that with the 2007 one. Remember when they ended it and then they went to space? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
And that space one, it lasted like one episode, and then nobody wanted anything to do with it.
And then it was back to the sewer, and it still sucked.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to see what I'm always interested in a new incarnation of the Turtles.
I know. I really think that the Nickelodeon Turtles was probably my favorite incarnation of the Turtles.
Well, how many seasons were there? Like 6?
5, I think. I think this was a 5th.
It's a good run.
Yeah. I hate seeing it go because it was so good. It was so well thought. You could tell there was a lot of love put into it. And I don't want to be. I feel like the next one should be just like another cash grab. Like, get kids into Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, wasn't Sean Astin in that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Talk about segue. So that's our end of our regularly scheduled podcast.
We're just ending it like that. Okay.
No, we're
Sean
about to
Astin in that. Okay, that's it. At the end. Bye, podcast.
We're about to go into digging deeper. We're about to go into digging deeper, and Sean Astin was in Stranger Things too.
Well,
so, I may have made the segue too early.
Yeah, well, you didn't really connect the dots there. You should be like,
okay, so I'm going to rewind that. So Sean Astin was in Stranger Things too. What a segue there. Let's go.
Oh, good.
I fucked it up. All right. Anyway, so thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll promise we'll get more of these out.
Yeah. Check us out on YouTube.
Yep, YouTube.
We're not anywhere else, really. We don't do much social media.
I don't know if people Facebook anymore.
I mean, they do. I
don't think people would click on things from Facebook.
We need to get like we need to find somebody who's like really into what we're doing, like who's like fanboys for us or fangirls for us.
Like savvy. Somebody savvy who's just going to post our stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Who goes nuts. I mean, I did a music video recently for these guys. And like they have a guy who's just like their publicist guy, and he's been posting crap all over the place. He's got the music video put in like all these different magazines and like Europe and stuff. And I was like, why can't I have a person like that?
Yeah. That is a full-time job right there.
It really is.
Like, that's part of the reason we took a break is because it was hard to put out a lot of videos and work on these videos and then put them out and then nobody really saw them.
Yeah.
Or a handful of people saw them, but it's just like but then we can't do that. Our regular jobs, all other stuff we got to do. And also just throw our stuff everywhere.
Once you become an adult, your days become so much shorter for some reason.
You don't even think about it. I'm building a deck in the back of my house, and I'm just like, when am I supposed to have time to do anything? I got to go home and build this deck, and then I got to build this giant retaining wall in my backyard, and then I got to find some time to play Starfinder, and then I got to find time to play some of these video games I have, and go to the movies, and also find time to eat and go to sleep. Like, when? There's no time. And as a kid, you were just like, oh, I'm so bored. I'd pay to be bored right now.
Me too.
It's just give me a day where I don't have to do anything. And it's not that we don't want to make it sound like we're working 24/7.
No.
It's just when you have a little bit of free time, what do you want to spend it doing?
It feels like it goes away
like
really
immediately.
Fast.
Like, it's just like, oh, it's Sunday. It's 2:00. I don't have to work till tomorrow.
So if you're a kid listening to this,
enjoy your fucking life.
And maybe get adopted by some rich parents. So.
Oh my God! So you don't have to get a job. Exactly. But let's get into spoilerific territory. So
we're gonna be talking Thor Ragnarok and Stranger Things 2.
Stranger Things Season 2. So full spoilers. Let's start with Stranger Things since you said you didn't have a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, it was good. End of story. You should check it out.
I know we talked about watching like 2 episodes. I couldn't do it.
It's too hard, right?
I watched it in like 3 days. Overall.
Same thing we did. Yeah. If we weren't doing the podcast at the time, so it was a lot easier to just go, let's just watch it.
Yeah. And I think most people did watch it and just sat down and watched the whole thing, which is nuts.
Yeah. It's a long stretch of time, but it was good.
It was good. Yeah.
I liked I think the first season started out better, But I think the second season ended better.
See, I think the complete opposite. I think the start of season 2 was really good, and I thought the ending was just kind of.
I thought the first part of the season was, you're talking about where Dustin got the dart and all that little stuff.
And it just felt more lighthearted and more fun, and like it just kind of took a really dramatic and dark turn. I think maybe that's why I didn't really dig in on the end of it.
Yeah, it got heavy.
I normally like dark stuff. I normally do, but I don't know. I was just kind of like,
It got heavy at the end.
It really did.
But let's talk about it. At first, it basically starts off the same. Will's back, and but he's having like flashes he keeps going back to the Upside Down. You can't really figure out what is going on.
Keep seeing a giant sky octopus.
Which he looked cool.
Yeah, I wished I would have seen more. That's another thing. I think I wished I would have seen more of that.
I think they were setting him up to be like the main villain.
Yeah.
Like later on. Like I'm glad they didn't like full on defeat him. Like it'd be good to see his origins, and a lot of people's theories are that where he lives is what happened to the world when he got a hold of it. The Upside Down is just an alternate version of Earth that he controls. So he's trying to get to Earth to just, because obviously everything in the Upside Down sort of messed up.
Yeah.
And depleted, and there's no real life, and that's what I mean, there's obviously tons of theories at this point. And they didn't really waste any time. 11 was introduced at the end of the first episode that Hopper had her in a cabin.
Yeah.
And this was one episode longer than the last season, which I thought it was one episode shorter, but I forgot that season 1 was 8 episodes and this was 9 episodes.
Yeah.
So I want to get your opinion on that one episode that was really different.
What are you talking about? The one where Elle becomes a goth punk rocker and goes off and joins a gang?
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that? Because that's a very divisive episode.
Well, I think, the episode before that, at the very end,
that was the hard part.
You see the Demogorgons busting up from the ground. You're like, oh shit, shit's getting real.
Nope, and then you get a whole episode.
You get a whole episode of 11 going and robbing people or whatever the fuck she was doing.
Yeah, my opinion on it is just that. I felt it was a good expansion of the character. It was a good expansion of the lore and the world, but it came at a very weird time.
And I think it could have been shortened. Really, I don't think it needed an entire episode. You probably could have done half an episode.
But again, that's what I mean. That's why I think it was an extra episode. So it.
But it's one of those things. Like it's like you think of episodes like that as like they do that as like filler for if like they're having production problems or something like. Not just in the middle of a show. It's already filmed. Like I don't know. It's kind of odd that you.
Yeah, it was definitely an odd choice, and I definitely was like watching it, going, "Man, I feel like they're wasting an episode here, almost."
Yeah, that. I think that's my thing. I think it looks like 8 episodes, and then whatever that was.
Yeah, which, again, I think it was a fine episode. It was a good character expansion for her and all that stuff, and sort of introduced you to 8 and all that other stuff, but. The good thing about it is I originally was thinking, why didn't they just like splice this into each episode a little bit?
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, I think it was genius that they did that way, because now if you go back and watch it, you can just skip that episode and not miss a beat. What are you going to miss? The fact that she comes back? It'll be even bigger surprise. Like when you go back and rewatch it, just skip the 11 episode if you want to. I mean, it's still a good episode, but if you watch those 8 episodes in a row, you get a more compact version. It won't feel like there's that little break in the middle.
What do you think the story is with the like the coked out like metal dude or whatever that and his sister like?
I thought they were gonna they were gonna be a bigger deal. I thought they were gonna be like spies.
Well, see, what I was thinking, like you see, they said they came from California.
Yeah, I think it's Billy and Max.
They came from California, and they don't really say that they came with their parents. They just say they came from California, and they were basically on the run or whatever.
Yeah, it sounded like they were like...
So when they showed that scene of like their parents, and like, Max was gone, and her dad was beaten up, or their stepdad or whatever was beaten up on... What's his name?
Oh, Billy? I think his name is Billy.
Well,
right?
Yeah, his dad's like, beating on him and stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a flashback. So, because it never says they live with their parents. The whole series.
Yeah, it was really weird. They were like sort of evaded that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden there's that, and I was like, oh, this is a flashback. I bet what happened is either maybe since Max was gone, he killed their parents, and like he keeps blaming her for it. So like they're on the run because he she was gone, and he made and
Nope.
no, it just turns out that was just part of real life, and I was like, oh, okay, and then you never really find out what their deal is.
Yeah, I think that was one mistake that they were doing, was they hinted that they were bigger characters than they made their backstory a mystery that didn't really need to be a mystery.
Yeah,
it wasn't really a revelation when they came through. It was just like, oh, okay, he's abusive to her because the father's abusive to him. Okay, I mean, that's sort of a cliche, and it's fine that that's in there, but introduce it earlier on instead of like at the end. Or alluding that it's some sort of mystery. Like you said, I was with you. I was like, are they running from somebody? Is that his actual daughter? What is it? Like, I didn't really know.
Like, and it seems like it was going to be part of the story, and it just never wound up being part of it.
They just ended up being new people.
He just wound up being this new guy.
So the funny story about that, I want to say his name is Billy, but I can't remember. So the funny story about that is Steve, who was in the original one, was so likable in the first one. He was supposed to be that guy. He was supposed to be like the human villain.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be like this dickhead guy, but he was so like likable and everybody liked him that they wrote him as a better redeemable character. And obviously in season 2 he does that. Some of the best stuff was when he was hanging out with Dustin.
Yeah.
Talking about girls and all that stuff.
So I guess that character's kind of taking over what his character should have been.
What his character should have been, and they just threw in this you say coked out, which is exactly how he acts.
He does.
Just like roided out, crazy over the top guy.
He looks like he's on like the cover of like a romance novel.
Yeah, which was a good scene where he romanced Mike's mom or whatever, because she's reading that. And isn't Mike's dad like the fucking worst?
And what about when they went to another thing I thought was kind of weird? They do this whole thing where Steve and what's her name? I don't remember names.
The girl,
not Steve, the Will's brother.
Jonathan.
Jonathan and the girl go to that conspiracy theorist dude, and they give him the tape and all this. And like, you don't hear anything about it for like 3 episodes.
Yeah, that was.
And then at the end, it's just like, oh, this is on the news.
Yeah, he essentially shut down Hawkins' lab because.
Yeah, and it's like, what?
That was the justice for Barb part, I think.
Yeah, but it also just seemed like it was kind of like, well, they've already pretty much done that themselves. They all closed the gate and everything, so that was kind of pointless at that point. Yeah.
I think it's sometimes they're just looking for things for other characters to do. Because honestly, the kids are the big draw and the kids and obviously the parents to some extent were really good. I thought all those scenes in the cabin with Eleven and Hopper were really good. Like when he was trying to like raise her, but he didn't really know how to raise her, and she was kind of like psycho and just wanted to leave. And
I hate Hopper.
You hate Hopper?
I hate his face.
Why do you hate his face?
I don't know. He just aggravates me.
I think he's a good actor.
What about
Sorry, you hate Hopper's face. So Matt sometimes just has no reasons other than his face. He just looks like
he'd be a dickhead.
He's Hellboy.
He's the new Hellboy?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Have you seen him in makeup?
He looks exactly like Ron Perlman, doesn't he? I think I've seen that picture.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. He looks like an old comic booky version. He looks like the comic book version. He looks like has a slightly smaller head.
Yeah.
And a bigger arms. But yeah, he looks just like Hellboy, so it's gonna be kind of cool, I guess.
We'll see.
What else are you gonna say?
More else was like, what about Bob, the character who was made?
Bob was the best.
Bob was made to be killed.
His name was Newbie, which I thought was a good call out to nerds out there.
Yeah,
because he was new to the series.
Yeah, but he was made just so none of the main characters got killed. That's what I think.
That's probably true.
Because you knew he was going to die. Like the whole time he's like, I got this. I'm like, he's going to die.
Oh yeah, as soon as he left, I was like, he's not going to make it. He's
dead.
It was sad though when he died.
Eh.
And they sort of lingered on his body a little bit, which was a little intense, where they were just like pulling at his body, just laying there.
So Funko today.
Oh my God.
Every day they do like a thing on Facebook where they're like, you can win a pop, and it's like you have to like the post and then they give you something to say. So this one was like they had the 11 and Barb pops, and they're like the post and tell us what pop we should make next. So I did. And I told them they should make Bob the dead version, the dead variant.
With getting just 4 Demogorgons eating him.
No, I think it's just should be him laying there dead.
Poor Bob.
You knew he was gonna die though. That's just part of it.
Yeah, that's part of it. And Will was awesome.
Yes, God, that kid is a good actor.
Yeah, he was like very like when he was supposed to be scared, he was scared, but then he was like sort of possessed in that spy episode where you found out he was actually the spy. And man, that whole scene in the cabin, or not the cabin, where they were trying to talk to him about his past or whatever, and they were revealing all like stories that they'd gone through and stuff like that. That was awesome. Who's the
main kid that's in love with Elle? What's his name? Mike. That he really didn't seem to get a lot of play this season.
He did not. I think I was noticing that. I was noticing that Will was getting a lot of screen time, and Dustin and Lucas were getting a lot of screen time.
Yeah, Mike wasn't really.
I think Mike at some point was off filming It, maybe.
Oh.
And also, I think he was such a big deal in the first one. They wanted to give like the other kids a little room. So I don't know.
Maybe.
Because you don't want to like make it the Mike and 11 story like all the time. But I agree with you. He had way less stuff to do.
Yeah.
This time around than he did the first one. Which again, I think it was more like.
God, have you went back and seen some of the pictures of like looking back at the first season? They all look like toddlers.
Oh yeah. Wait till you see the next season. They're even they did that Beyond Stranger Things part afterwards, and they look older there, and that was filmed like immediately after the show was done, and it was just like. It's not going to be long. Luckily, they said they're going to stop at 4.
That's good.
Like they have a stopping point. They're going to end it. And if they're smart, the next season they'll just jump ahead like 3 years so the kids will look like the right age.
Yeah.
Like don't say like they're still in middle school when they look like 18-year-olds.
I'm glad they're going to end it.
Yeah, I mean they need to. Breaking Bad did it.
I love it. I love the story and stuff, but I don't want to see it Walking Dead itself.
Oh my God. You don't want to talk about that at all? You haven't seen it this year?
We could have talked about that earlier, but fuck it.
Yeah. I read about it. Walking Dead has gotten to the point where I just read about what happened.
I watched the first episode of a season. I haven't watched any more since because I just don't care.
Yeah, not invested anymore.
Well, I mean,
how can you be?
I like Negan. I thought he was a good character, but they don't protect him at all. Like that first episode of the new season, Rick and all his guys drive up in these armored cars, and they all got guns at Negan's place, and Negan's just standing out on the thing like with his baseball bat, and he's got like 3 guys just standing next to him. I'm like, fucking shoot him.
Yeah.
Why is nobody shooting him? And he's just up there like, hey, hey, hey. And I'm like, what? And then at the end, like,
why don't they have some sort of sniper character who can just...
They start shooting him. They're all... There's like a whole army of them out there with guns, and nobody's shooting at him. And he's just standing with a baseball bat.
You were done with it after that?
I was just like, what the... And then at the end, the preacher, I can't remember his name.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
He winds up getting left behind, and he's left in a room, and he's shaking, he's scared, and all of a sudden you hear Negan go, you're going to piss your pants. And I'm like, okay, the dude is holding a gun. Negan's got a baseball bat. Shoot him. Don't stand there and look like you're scared to death of him. Shoot him. They do that a lot in that with that series, and I think that's one thing that makes me mad. It's like, for whatever reason, Negan can just stand out in the open and nobody kills him.
Yeah, nobody takes a shot at him or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that's supposed to be his confidence, but it's also like kind of bullshit.
No, he should be more guarded. I think he should have like snipers around him or something that's known. Like if you mess with him, you're gonna die. Not just he's so charismatic that nobody's gonna shoot at him.
Yeah.
Anyways, Walking Dead fucking sucks.
But anyway, it was good. All the kids are doing an awesome job. I mean, kudos to those guys for finding those kids.
Yeah.
Because none of them. There's not a weak link in the bunch, I don't think, except for maybe the sister, but I think it's just more her parts don't really have any impact on the story.
And Max is a new welcome addition.
Yeah, she was really good too. Billy was the only part that I was like, this guy's a little much, and I understand what they were going for.
God damn.
But he was just like, he's just in his room smoking and like
staring at himself,
like whipping weights up, and I'm just
fixing
like, okay.
His hair.
But man, his dad comes in. That was I was totally like, this guy's way over the top. And his dad comes in, and I think that was part of the reason for it, because his dad came in and shut him down immediately.
Like I said, I thought that was all a flashback, so I was just like, what?
Yeah, no, it's just the way his life is. But
yeah.
I think that was the only part about Billy being so crazy over the top that I enjoyed, because when you got that character and then that character can get shut down by another character, it's very like it's good for
satisfying.
It's good for the satisfaction and the development. And so, who's your favorite character in the show?
Dead Bob.
Dead Bob is his favorite character in the show.
Honestly, from an actor's standpoint, I really enjoy Winona Ryder. Just watching her play her character, she does so good.
Yeah, she's crazy, but crazy in a good way.
Yeah, no, she just in the first season, I was just like, damn, man, she
was nailing it. The crazy manic mother and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know who my favorite character is.
I gotta go with Steve, man. I'm a Steve fan. I don't know why. I think maybe it's his hair, but I think like his bonding with the kids and sort of like being their babysitter and looking after them and their guardian. I thought that was like a really good place for him to be.
I guess I just gotta say Dustin, just because he's like always funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Steve and Dustin, that was like the dream combo right there. That was like the Hound and Arya all over again. It was just like you got this little guy and this guy protecting him pretty much, and I just thought that was a genius pairing on those two. But again, that's not taking any way from the other kids, because obviously all the kids do.
Yeah, no, they're all awesome.
Like I don't think there's a bad actor in that show. That's what I'm saying. That's
why I can't really pick a favorite, because I like pretty much everybody except for Hopper.
But you just hate his face. His acting is fine.
Yeah, that's
you don't buy it.
I just wish he would. I wish he would have died instead of Bob.
Wish he had a different face. Hopper, if you just had a different face. But it's a good series. I mean, obviously, if you like Stranger Things, you've already seen this.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely probably going to watch it again. And
if you haven't,
skip The Lost Sister. Just go ahead and skip that one if you want to. Just have a good 8-episode run.
Do you think that's going to pick up anywhere? Do you think it's going to come back? Think they're going to make like the X-Men?
That's what they're talking about or hinting at a little bit. I don't know, because I went into this season with no expectations. I was like, I don't know where they're going. I know there's a Ghostbusters theme, and there's a big spider-looking lobster monster thing. That's all I knew about the series. I had no idea there was going to be like this whole mind possession thing and spies and baby demogorgons and all that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that, because I was like, I had no expectations for the first season. I was just like, all right, let's see what this is. And it ended up being this cool like 80s throwback Spielbergian movie that was just good. And so I was like, I'll just do the same thing with the second season. So I don't know where they're going to go. Like, I don't know what the next step is logically.
I don't either. But
logically, it's a time jump, but I feel like if you put it in the first 2 seasons, you have to have the Upside Down and you have to have the lab. That has to be like a constant in the series.
Yeah.
So now that the lab shut down, I don't know what happens. And now that the Upside Down, the gate is closed, I don't know what happens. I don't know where they go. I don't know how they get back to it.
We'll see. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll do it before those kids are 25 years old. But it's definitely good. Now, it's time for another Digging Deeper. Some Thor Ragnarok. I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't either.
So, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, it had a very likable rock character in it.
Very like, oh, you're talking about Korg?
Yeah.
Was that his name?
Yeah, I think Korg.
Yeah, Korg and Meek.
He's like, hey, man.
He didn't look like he should have talked like that. That was the director, I think, who voiced that. But yeah, Korg was awesome. I mean, it was good. It was definitely, we talked about it a little earlier, where at the very beginning,
it seemed like it was be super jokey and just
I was like, please don't, Thor. Okay, you're funny. You were honestly the funniest part of the new Ghostbusters movie, which I saw that, and he was funny in it because he just played dumb Chris Hemsworth character. But don't make every scene a joke. And then they kind of like let off.
Yeah.
Like after that first sequence, it was sort of like, I think the first sequence they were trying to capture that Star-Lord thing.
Yeah.
From the first Guardians, where he sort of meets a character and he sort of mouths off to him and sort of.
It was funny.
It was funny. I like when he was spinning. I thought it was a good joke, but I had this sense of dread that the whole movie was going to.
Nothing was going to be taken seriously at all.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the Odin stuff, and he dies, and. I mean, it got some of its seriousness back, but never really lost the sense of like goofiness.
Yeah,
and that's what the whole thing felt like. It felt
like
a
lot of people are complaining about, like, oh, Thor's shouldn't be so goofy. It's just like Guardians. But I'm like, honestly, Thor's kind of a dumb character, really.
Yeah,
like, just make it goofy and deal with it.
Yeah, I was okay because, like I said, I think it links well to that other world that the Guardians are in.
Yeah,
and you got to kind of have that when. You can't just have Thor being super Thor serious all the time, because that kind of would have made it boring or difficult, because look at what he's dealing with. He's dealing with sports arenas and monsters and rebellions and spaceships and rainbow roads and he's dealing with all kinds of stuff. How can he possibly be like, I have to get on the rainbow road, I have to take it? No, you got other characters for that. Hela was really good.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm going to say about her is she's been one of the more memorable Marvel villains.
Yeah, probably the best Marvel villain I think we've seen.
God, that scene when Loki looks into the Valkyrie's mind and you see the battle between Hela and the Valkyries, I was like, the visuals on that are just amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Part of that was in the trailer, and I think that's probably one of my favorite trailers. Like, just the music and the visuals and stuff was just like,
yeah, it was sort of like an acid trip kind of a Marvel movie. It's just like all this stuff blasting at you, all these colors, and it's just, and obviously you got everybody was great in it. It was one of those things I wish they could have kept secret, but there's no way. But like Hulk being the main gladiator would have been cool as a surprise. But I don't know how you keep that.
Yeah, well, they really didn't spoil the movie with their trailers.
Yeah, they really didn't.
There was a lot of stuff I wasn't really expecting.
But yeah, it was like, nothing was really spoiled in the trailers.
I mean, the Hulk thing was, but
other than that, it was just like they just kind of kept everything secret. Everything was kind of just vague. And I mean, I don't know if I saw another trailer on top of that. I think I saw the 2 trailers and that was it. But there might have been another one that ruined it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think Disney and Marvel specifically are getting better about doing that. Like, I remember seeing Guardians 2, and I don't remember a lot of things being spoiled.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll like trust their audience a little more to just come see the movie anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you've already built the characters so much. People are going to come to the Marvel movies. Just leave some mystery.
But that fight was good. The arena fight between him and Hulk that was great. That was like, I remember watching the Avengers with you when it first came out, and you were like, classic battle when they faced off in that airport hangar.
Yeah,
it was Thor versus Hulk, and you were just like, classic battle right there. It was just classic. That was what the first one was just like classic matchup after classic matchup, and to see them like go at each other like for real this time, it felt cooler and funnier, but it also felt like I really enjoy the Planet Hulk storyline, so I liked seeing that aspect of it.
Yeah, they never really explain what's really going on with Hulk. Like, yeah, obviously he's kind of taken over Bruce Banner at this point.
Yeah, and he
in some ways
sort of hinted that he wouldn't, if he ever turned into Hulk again, he wouldn't
turn back.
He wouldn't turn back, but he will. I mean,
yeah.
They're not going to have like CG Mark Ruffalo the entire time. But Hulk was a lot more intelligent because he had been Hulk. Well, he was like Hulk for like 2 years, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was still pretty dumb, but
he was still dumb.
Him and Thor like throwing fits with each other, children.
It was good. And
the Valkyrie.
Tess Thompson, I think is her name. She was really good. Everybody thinks she's going to be the new Thor when Chris Hemsworth steps down. So who knows if that's going to happen or not. Because you're supposed to be Jane Foster, but they kind of randomly dropped out of nowhere. Oh, remember when Jane broke up with you? And just at the beginning of the movie, and that was it. It's like, just shout out to Natalie Portman.
Doctor Strange at the beginning.
Yeah, he was at the beginning. With his cool yellow gloves that you love so much. I'm wondering if they shot that when they shot Doctor Strange.
I don't know.
Like that whole sequence, because he looked exactly like it looked like a scene shot for shot. And then it was, he put like Loki in a hole that he just fell for like 35 minutes. Why didn't Doctor Strange just do that to everybody?
Oh,
there's a bad guy. I'm gonna make him drop in a hole forever.
Loki finally becomes a face, I guess. It's been a long time coming. Like, he's such a likable. The actors portrays him so well. Like, you've been wanting him to be a good guy.
You think he's good for now? Like,
I think so. I think they finally got to the point where he's like turned on Thor so many times. It's like,
that was a good sequence though, when he was like, "You're getting predictable, brother." It's like, you turned on me and I was going to betray you, and then no, he just left him there, and Meek found him.
So I think finally they're going to let him be good, which is kind of what I feel like has been needed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when all these worlds collide, right?
Yeah, and really this one didn't end the way we thought it was going to, because in that Infinity War trailer, Thor's floating in space. I thought that was something like that was going to happen.
And everybody's talking about that. Everybody's saying, well, how does this movie end? Because at the beginning of the Infinity War, I can't fucking say Infinity War. The beginning of the Infinity War trailer, Thor, that Guardians find Thor because they run him over in space amid all this debris. And so the question is, after that mid-credit scene, that's obviously Thanos' ship.
Yep.
Is he going to blow every Asgardian up and then Thor's just left floating?
Maybe.
But I imagine it's more along the lines of Thor's going to go try to fight it, and they're going to try to get away, because I don't know if they go through all the trouble of saving everybody on that planet if they're just going to kill him 3 seconds.
One of the crazy things, too, like, talking about not spoiling the movie. Did you notice they like during the trailer they didn't show his missing eye?
They did not.
They took that out.
Not one time.
Nope. Like even when he jumps down and like he's on lightning, in the movie he's missing his eye, but in the trailer he's not.
Yeah, I wonder if that was added.
Probably
last second.
I think that was just part of not to spoil it.
Yeah,
I don't know
because they were showing Civil War trailers, and when they showed the lineup, they didn't show Spider-Man standing there, but Spider-Man was standing there. They just cut him out so they wouldn't spoil the Spider-Man reveal in the first trailer.
That's awesome.
So yeah, they just scrubbed him out. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting when all these worlds finally collide. I thought Jeff Goldblum was awesome.
Yeah, he played Jeff Goldblum pretty well.
He was pretty much Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster, but it was a perfect fit for that.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum does a good job of playing himself.
I mean, does he have to do anything else these days?
It's fucking stupid.
He could just be himself. He's one of those characters that could just be exactly himself. And
yep.
We need like a Jeff Goldblum type character for this movie. Well, how about Jeff Goldblum?
Okay.
He like melted that guy. That was pretty funny.
His melts rod or whatever.
His melting rod. I mean, it was definitely a fun movie.
Yeah.
I definitely
a step in the right direction for Thor because the last two have been pretty meh.
Yeah, because why? He was so serious.
Yeah, they tried to ground him on Earth and make him more
like have love interest and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Thor was always like it wasn't always space, but Thor was always having crazy adventures.
Yeah, and
he wasn't Captain America fighting Nazis. He was fighting rock monsters and starting rebellions, and he fought a similar Thor named Beta Ray Bill. Remember that guy?
That's part of the Thor Corps, buddy.
Thor Corps right there. But yeah, it was...
There was a Frog Thor.
I think, yeah, Frog Thor, Jesus. But, I don't know. The action was... The visuals in it were amazing.
Yeah, like I said, that scene with the flashback to Hela taking on the Valkyries was just like, wow.
Yeah, and talk about Hela fucking tearing that army apart by herself. Not even really using anything, but
I will say some of the CG on her during some of the fight scenes was a little off-putting, but that's to be expected because it was such a... There's no way that woman could have probably pulled all that off.
Oh, no. She's an older lady for sure. But
she was awesome.
Yeah, she like you said, definitely one of the more memorable villains. Loki's probably number one villain for a long time.
Yeah, because he's been the villain of like 5 of the movies.
It's true. He was the first Thor, second Thor, and Avengers. And he wasn't really the villain here, I guess.
Yeah, no, Hela was good. I really enjoyed her.
Oh, good old Carl Urban as Scourge.
Yeah.
That's exactly how he died in the comic too, right?
I think so.
He had like 2 guns and called Des and Troy. That's what he called him? Destroy. That's what I like Carl Urban, but at the beginning I was like, oh man, is he going to be a comic relief guy too? Because he was like hanging out with it and playing with the shake weight and stuff. But then I don't know. It all worked out. I think that opening sequence was just a fun.
And then the ending was pretty epic, adventure. Man. Like the big wolf fighting Hulk and.
Yeah, there's a lot going
fighting
on there.
The Rainbow Bridge, and then what's that?
Sutter,
the big demon fire monster comes out of the ground and destroys Asgard, and it's like, God damn.
Yeah, it was like an overload. Thor realizing he's not the God of Hammers.
God of Hammers.
Which was an awesome Anthony Hopkins line, by the way. He didn't really have much to do because he kind of just showed up and turned into pixie dust, and then that was about it. But it was a good line, and sort of I always like that scene where the hero gets like super like he gets his hero moment. You remember that movie The Rundown?
Yeah.
Where The Rock didn't use guns, and then all of a sudden he was trapped and he had to save it, but he had the 2 guns. And then he turned into like fucking murder machine.
Yeah.
Remember when you and me said The Rock's going to be a star and everyone's like, "No, he's not." I was like, "Dude, trust us."
It was after The Rundown where he was really good in The Rundown.
He was awesome in The Rundown, and that was like 15 years ago, and now the highest paid actor in Hollywood right now.
Yep. We should.
He is Black Adam.
That's why we should be Hollywood executives.
That's why we should look, guys. Just get The Rock. He was really good in the Scorpion. No, he wasn't. He wasn't good in the Scorpion King at all.
He was just starting off.
But they're saying Black Adam's supposed to is rumored to appear in Suicide Squad 2.
Oh.
You didn't even see Suicide Squad 1, did you?
No interest in seeing Suicide Squad 1.
Yeah. I thought it was overrated, honestly. I know a lot of people really liked it. I just like It felt to me like it felt to me like rushed, which is how I feel Justice League. I'm hoping Justice League doesn't feel that way.
But it just feels that way.
But it feels that way now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're telling me the movie's shorter than Batman versus Superman and there's 3 more characters in it. Because we didn't even talk about Cyborg earlier.
Hey, look, Batman vs. Superman, there was these folders that showed...
Oh, yeah.
That showed
That's
very
low
resolution videos of these characters. And luckily Lex Luthor had already made them all symbols on his folders.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing what the Flash does because he seemed like he might be an entertaining character.
We'll see. I don't know. I think that kid annoys me too.
Uh-oh. Matt's just annoyed with people's faces.
I think it's just the way he talks and stuff pisses me off.
Oh, got anything else to say?
Thor was awesome. Stranger Things is awesome. So 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see what we say about Justice League next week.
Ready for Infinity War, man.
Yeah, that's next March or May, right?
Man, so far away.
Not too bad.
Are there any Marvel movies in between that? Besides
No, it's
Black
the next
Panther?
one. No, yeah, Black Panther's in March, I think.
And then that's it?
And then that's it.
God, that's going to be a long wait.
Black Panther's March, and then I think at the beginning of the summer is Infinity War. Deadpool, I think, is around March as well.
Good.
And I don't even know what else is coming out. What else you got planned on watching? When's Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 supposed to start?
February.
It's kind of far away, but not too bad.
Yeah, well, apparently they didn't want to go against Stranger Things and Walking Dead.
Ugh.
Yeah. Apparently that show's being hurt by illegal downloading pretty bad, so.
I'm a little sad your Walking Dead enthusiastic roundup's not happening on the podcast every week now. Yeah.
I mean,
this guy.
Well, you heard me bitch about when people weren't shooting at Negan, so.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I mean. It was an enjoyable part. Every time we do a podcast, you'd be like, nothing happened again.
I will say the trailer for Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 doesn't have me too thrilled.
Uh-oh. Look rough.
Well, it's like they're shoehorning him into having a daughter all of a sudden. And like the last season they touched on like his dad and stuff, which was like fine. It's like that's all the backstory I need. Now all of a sudden it's like, don't mess with Papa Bear. He says that.
Uh-oh.
And he's got a daughter, I guess he's had for a long time that nobody knew about. And there's like a high school setting and stuff. I don't know. It looks very odd and it doesn't look as good as the other ones.
I don't know. I do need to sit down and watch those. I'm stuck at Adventure Time right now. You said you should watch it. And I hated it. I hated it at first, but now I'm just like, oh, I get it.
It's one of those shows that the fan base kind of ruins for you. It makes you not want to watch it.
Yeah. It's much better now that I'm actually watching it.
Well, I don't think it's like as popular as it was, but there was a problem with like all the hipsters and stuff thought it was like the cool thing to watch.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Rick and Morty. I think that's why I haven't really sat down and watched it because like it's got a huge fan base right now and it kind of aggravates me.
Rick and Morty reminds me of a really violent, vulgar version of Adventure Time. It's just the same. Just that they just go on these ridiculous adventures, and it's just like when he turns himself into a pickle, it might be. It's the funniest episode I've ever seen, but it just goes in a direction you're just not anticipating because he turns himself into a pickle so he doesn't have to go to family therapy, but then he can't turn himself back. And it just escalates from there. It's super funny though. It gets really violent, but it's a good show. Like I agree with you. I was like, oh, I didn't watch Adventure Time. I was like, oh my god, all I hear is people.
Yep.
I thought it was like one of those weird shows like Gumball or whatever that's just random.
Yeah. That
doesn't really have like a connection, but it seems to have a little bit of continuity to it now.
Yeah, a little bit. It's still pretty random though.
Yeah, it's definitely less random than it used to be because I just got to the part where Jake and found out he's gonna have puppies or whatever with that reindeer corn.
Have you seen the Ice King's like origin episode? That really depressing one.
The Christmas one where his wife leaves him because he turns to it's depressing.
Yeah, I know.
The Ice King is a sad character.
He really is.
But
he's my favorite character.
I like Ricardio. He was pretty funny. I don't know if he comes back. Ricardio voiced by what's his fucking name? The Star Trek guy that's in everything. George Takei.
Oh yeah.
He's the voice of Ricardio. He's super funny. And fucking remember Lemon Grab?
Yeah.
That's Rick and Morty's voice.
Oh.
That's why it sounds so familiar. When you get to the episode of Rick and Morty that's the Mr. Meeseeks, that one is fucking funny. That's my favorite one so far because it goes in it goes in directions you're not expecting. But I really like it. But anyway, got anything else to say?
No.
All right, that's it. Bye.